By age 30, most people don't have a money problem. They have a time problem they already wasted. That sentence should unsettle you. It should be the low-frequency hum in the back of your mind when you turn off the lights at night. Because the most damaging myth about wealth is that it arrives through dramatic, cinematic moments. We are fed a diet of breakthroughs, the sudden IPO, the promotion that changes everything, the lucky crypto bet. That myth survives because it feels hopeful, and hope is the cheapest drug on the market. It allows you to stay passive while feeling like a protagonist. The truth is darker, quieter, and far more mathematical. Wealth is built through quiet checkpoints, invisible milestones that compound slowly, patiently, and without applause. Most people miss them not because they lack intelligence, but because no one ever explained the tax of drift. They focus on the wrong targets at the wrong ages. They play a game they haven't read the rules for. Today, we are answering a question that exposes reality. How much money should you have by 20, 30, 40, and 50? And how much do people actually have? These are not hype numbers. They are psychological benchmarks. They reveal whether you are designing your life or being carried forward by momentum you don't control.
If you're behind, this won't comfort you. It will give you clarity. Age 20, the era of trajectory. At 20, society gives you a hall pass to drift. The world tells you to find yourself, which is often code for consume until you're numb. This advice sounds generous. In reality, it is a trap designed to keep you in the labor force for 40 years. On average, a 20-year-old has between 0 and 3,000 euros. Many are already in the negative, having traded their future labor for a degree they aren't sure they want, or a car they can't afford. Being broke at 20 isn't a failure, it's a baseline. But staying uncommitted is a choice. This is the last age where your mistakes are subsidized by time. It is the last decade where you can lose everything and still win the game. At 20, the goal isn't the balance in your bank, it's the velocity of your learning. The benchmark. By 21, you should have zero high-interest debt, not a single euro owed to a credit card company. You should have an emergency buffer of 1,000 euros, not for a holiday, but to ensure a flat tire doesn't send you crawling back to a job you hate. Most importantly, you should have one stacking skill, a skill that doesn't reset at the end of the month. Most 20-year-olds buy identity before they have competence. They buy the uniform of success, the shoes, the phone, the lifestyle, without owning the machine. The architect does the opposite.
They remain invisible. They trade entertainment for leverage. Money at 20 doesn't measure success. It measures seriousness. Age 30, the decade of optionality. 30 is where avoidance starts charging interest. This is the decade where the quiet lie becomes a loud reality. On average, net worth at 30 sits between 20,000 euros and 40,000 euros. On paper, it looks like progress. Structurally, it is brittle. Most people at 30 are high income, no asset, HINA. They earn more, so they spend more. They have upgraded their cage. A strong benchmark by 30 is 1 full year of your annual income saved or invested. If you earn 50,000 euros, you should control 50,000 euros. Why? Because 30 is the age of the pivot. This is when you realize if you want to be an employee for life or an owner. Without that 1-year buffer, you have no fuck you money. You are a hostage to your own lifestyle.
At 30, you must stop managing your expenses and start managing your dependency ratio. Ask yourself, if my pulse stopped working, how long would my money keep moving? If the answer is 3 weeks, you aren't a professional. You're a high-end servant. Wealthy people at 30 stop asking, how much do I make? And start asking, what percentage of my life do I own? Age 40, the era of structure. By 40, money stops being personal. It's no longer about your effort. It's about the systems you've deployed. On average, people at 40 have 70,000 to 120,000 euros. But look closer. Most of that is dead equity, trapped in a primary residence that they can't sell because they need a place to sleep. A strong benchmark at 40 is 3 to 5 times your annual income in liquid or cash-flowing assets. At 40, your energy begins to peak and then plateau. You can no longer out-hustle a bad strategy. If you are still trading 1-to-1, 1 hour for 1 euro, you are in a race against your own biology. This is the age where illusions collapse. You see peers with the big houses and the luxury SUVs, but you also see the bags under their eyes. They are running on a treadmill that is accelerating. The architect at 40 focuses on resilience. They want income that survives their rest.
They move from labor income to asset income. If you don't have a structure that pays you while you sleep by age 40, you will be working until the day you die. The discomfort you feel at this age isn't fear, it's your potential realizing it has been mismanaged. Age 50, the mirror of sovereignty. By 50, money stops lying. It becomes a mirror that reflects every decision you made in your 20s and 30s. Average net worth here is 150,000 to 250,000 euros. For many, this is the panic phase, realizing that retirement is no longer a concept, but a deadline. A strong benchmark is 6 to 10 times your annual income. At this stage, money is no longer for buying things, it is for buying dignity. The real tragedy of being 50 and broke isn't the lack of a yacht, it's the inability to say no. It's being forced to endure the whims of a 28-year-old manager because you didn't build an exit 20 years ago. At 50, money answers one question: are you free? Sovereignty means you don't need permission to exist. You don't need a boss to validate your time. You have built a forest of ownership that provides shade even when you aren't planting seeds. Some people reach this age and realize they built a palace with no doors. Others realize they built a fortress. The real divide: passengers versus
Architects. The real question isn't, am I on track with the averages? The averages are designed to keep you mediocre. The average person is stressed, indebted, and one paycheck away from a crisis. Being average is a losing strategy. The real question is, are you building a life that collapses without your presence? Income is a leaking bucket. You can keep pouring into it, but if you don't plug the holes with assets, you will be pouring forever. Ownership is a growing forest. It is slow, it is invisible for the first few years, but it is permanent. Money is not the goal. Money is the receipt. It proves whether you lived as a passenger, consumed by the present, or thought like an architect, building for a future that doesn't require your constant exhaustion. The archive doesn't care about your excuses. The market doesn't care about your effort. It only cares about structure. It's time to stop working for money and start making money work for its existence. Subscribe to join the archive. Welcome to the club.